good crowd, a mix of different industries, and we really. Let me start with the first question today. And the way we want to make it is like I don't want to make it like one-way communication. But if we make it more interactive, then the communication becomes to and fro. It will be more helpful to you and for me to drive it in a proper way. And I'll be able to help you with whatever knowledge we've gathered over so many years and values. That will help to disseminate the knowledge with you all. In whichever best way we can do it in the effective utilization of say 1 month, half hour. We will make it more and more interactive, right? And even during the presentation, if you feel that certain things which need to be discussed or elaborated in detail, you can always do that. So let's put it that way. So as I understand, I mean, we have colleagues from IT, ITES, consulting, renewable energy, logistics, and we have media, we have consulting for renewable energy and healthcare and pharma, retail, so all variety of people. Good. Full base we have. Just to understand more in detail in terms of when you consider the age of your company, what will be the age? So let's put it, the first bracket I like to put it is just a startup. Can you please raise the hand of just a startup, idea and a concept? Idea and a conceptualization, right? Okay. And conceptualization done, you have already tried and tested a proof of concept. The proof of concept is established in 3 years of existence. And more than 3 years of existence. So again, if you look at the bracket one, it is absolutely good in terms of good mix. So we have a lot of challenges to go with that today. In terms of different age group, different size, different industry, different stage at which we are, and what we are doing. Okay, so let me start with the presentation. I'll walk you through first in terms of the difficulties and issues at a different stage of growth. And then we'll move into the different types of trade possibilities available, the syndication possibilities. And I'll not restrict only to trade. When I'm saying trade, I'll not restrict only to trade. I'll keep the canvas open for the different modes of funding available to different sources. Includes them. Right? So I think that will give you more flavor to everybody to understand in more detail which are the ways and means we can raise funds. Not necessarily take good options because the factors are sitting, but because what is the requirement to your business and how you want to drive. According to it will be more, right? Okay? Yes. Good. So let me start with the first slide, which is people saying is the boring slide. And so I say. Because it's data. If you see the ground reality, I mean, this is what the data about government space out. This is the data which we have taken from the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, MSME, which talks about 45% of our growth or GDP is contributed by SMEs. So more than 58 crore, 5.8, 580 million something. There are the number of SMEs, entrepreneurs, have been doing the business in and out in the country. They are contributing more than 100,000 employment every year. Right? These are the statistics what it says. But if you look at real terms, as an individual, you feel that this is sufficient whatever is happening from the government side, or the industry side, or the facilitation from the bank side? Why? Why do you feel so? Because the data says something different. It says everything is happening because of it. 40% of the GDP growth is because of SME entrepreneurship, which is the foundation of any country. Why we feel that the large number of services, what we require as a support is not happening?
Support ecosystem.
Okay.
And all the processes involved as well as activity, the amount of licenses required. License is fine. The entire process of actually getting it is so cumbersome. So by the time you do your core business, you already face a lot of difficulties.
Okay.
Availability of capital, I think a lot of times if you approach the bank, they usually ask for collateral, which is not utilize that capital as well. So, we need that system.
I do not agree to you fully. Yes.
Indian GDP from manufacturing is very low, and that's why the SME where they have ancillary services and also entrepreneurs coming up, that becomes very low. That's one part. Secondly, if I talk from capital market perspective, the debt market is now more mature. I mean, depending on the economy that is funding by the banks, we don't have any the way it is built in the debt market. So debt funding is not there. That's not the main reason that I was main manufacturing there is very low.
Okay. Right.
SMEs are involved. We also look at how to indeed there are a lot of SMEs who close up, borrowing procedural aspects or policy
Very good point. I'll park this point for some few minutes more, and then we'll discuss in detail. I mean, what is happening. So just coming back to the bankers in the last row. On an average, I mean, what is the number of SME client you disbursed so far in last 1 year? Can this through some ballpark figure? Not necessarily accurately, but some range.
This branch is a specialized branch for innovation and startup finance, where we are representing Dana Bank. We started in the month of October last year.
Right.
And till date, it's very successful journey. We have around 508 accounts.
Okay.
And they are
How many?
for many more.
How many?
Especially, it's not as SME, yes, it is a SME, but especially for startups and innovative companies.
Good. See, Dana Bank in particular, Dana Bank as a whole, you can say, we are having 1500 branches. We are doing SME funding across the country from every branches. And things, as we are learning something, some risks are involved. So every bank is considering that what are the risk factors that they want to be secure. Looking at all the aspects, Dana Bank has opened this specialized branch. This name is also like small B branch for innovation and startup finance.
Yeah.
So basically, we are focusing only for the startup. And as you asked whether we are doing how much funding we are doing. See, I think it is an individual data with every branch. We don't have consolidated data to share with you. But for our branch, we are very much eager to fund to the startups. We are having a specialized scheme only for the startup entrepreneurs, and we are doing well.
Thanks. See, if you look at on overall basis, there are, as per what RBI says, there are 120,000 crores of funds is getting disbursed every year to SMEs. Yes, please.
How many applications you got?
We are coming to that. I have told you. We are coming to that. Please address your question. What do you have in your mind?
I have a few more questions about the bankers and address over the board.
Sure.
One, qualification obviously at the beginning.
Yeah.
Very important things are covenant violation because the SME obviously will not have cash flow predictability is very poor.
Yeah.
And if the covenants get violated, you're screwed for life.
I know what you're thinking and your question. We will discuss that in detail. If you allow me for 10 minutes more, you will get the answer to your question. We'll come back. Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at, though there are not many things are happening from government side. It's not that it's not happening. A lot many things are required from the SME side. But if you look at the marry matching between both, like demand and supply, there's a big gap. And almost I can say that 30 to 40% of the entrepreneurs not get any sort of funding, any sort of support from anywhere. So we'll touch base in terms of what are the difficulties, what are the issues. Because if you look at from the banker side, let's take an example. I mean, I'm not counseling anything from the banker side. If you look at from the banker side, whether it's a GM or CGM or the executive director of the bank, are they the owner of the money what they're getting? They are not the owners. They are not owning that funds what is residing with the bank. The funding what they are using, they are the custodian of that funds to be utilized for the betterment of the shareholders or the people who will put their money in the current account or the savings account, right? So they are the custodian of that fund. What they own is only the interest portion of the processing they recovered from the borrower, right? That is the sources of income only what they can own. And out of that they will recover all the expenses whatever they are spending for the administrative and all this stuff. Balance portion which is left out is for the shareholders. So if you really look at from their side, they are only the custodian. So risk capital for them is on the higher side. So we'll discuss that part also. So we'll try to balance both the things and then try to find out what is the best solution or the better solution for an organization like you to look for the option which is workable, right? So typically when we say an organization, there are issues what we've seen over the years. The category of 4 different issues which we call it considered as a soft issue. When we say soft, S stands for strategy. So when you are in the startup phase, you feel that your idea is to be there, right? But then conversion of that idea into concept, and then concept into proof of concept, and proof of concept into existence, and then make it live, and then it is validated. It's not that validation is what you are saying, validation by the people who are receiving your service. Once you start validating, that proof of concept becomes reality. When it comes into reality, people look at you as a serious entrepreneur. Till the time you remain as an entrepreneur with some good ideas, right? So people with good ideas, it's valuable for you, but not necessarily valuable for others who is only looking at the financial investment into your company as a facilitation and generating some income out of it, right? So they will not look at what is the loss or the risk you are looking at. They will look at only the safety and security of their own funds. Whether it's a private equity guy or a debt syndicate guy or a banker or maybe family and friends. Family and friends might have some bigger appetite for you because they trust you and then there's some sort of personal emotional attachment. That's why they might be giving you funding on a high risk appetite. But bankers will not definitely do it. Second is the operation, how you manage your operation. Once you reach, we have 3 years of time. How you managing your day-to-day operation? Is it properly maintained? Is there proper organization structure? In terms of when you're driving your business, is this, the whole operation is in a controlled way. Your data is getting realized on a time-bound manner, your directors are getting paid on time. And how effectively you're managing your own business. Third comes the finance. Most, so far of course, whichever the entrepreneur we met, everybody says we are not doing because we are not having funds. We are not having access to funds. But in 90% of the cases, I'm saying 90% of the cases we have seen, finance is not a problem. Problem is relating to their own discipline, own focus, way they are doing the business, the way they are structuring their activities. That is where the 90% of the problem lies. 10% of the problem I fully agree that is because of funding requirement. And fourth is the technology support. We have a lot of colleagues here in terms of technology. But if you look at operation on the manufacturing side, wherever we need to have technology support, we always do it. Typically, we've seen, the second generation entrepreneurs, they come, train, invest, entrepreneurs who start their own business, they come with a technology background. They like to spend heavily on technology without understanding what is the requirement for the business to invest into technology. Even at the entrepreneur level, maybe 60 crore, 100 crore turnover company, they said you want to go to ERP. And the best of the best ERP of SAP and all. But does this business really require to spend 2 crores, 3 crores on SAP or Oracle? Whether the business can sustain that sort of cost, or whether your operation is that complex that you need an ERP software. First you need to use it. Then look at what's the option you need to do. And once typically it happens that once, I mean, the entrepreneur said, we have to take a decision about to have my system, paperless environment, everything is paperless, technology enabled, I mean, best in class. But back end process, the people who are operating it, you don't spend any money on training, or maybe those people even don't accessible to the computer system. Forget about it. These are the typical problems I've seen which I'm sharing with you. So that if you say that I mean, the entrepreneur is readily spending heavily on the technology, but the people are going to use technology. Well, you are going to use the technology on your own. Definitely you need people who are either become graduate or maybe slightly hard business ability, but may not be accessible to the ERP system of your own. And once a person is trained, typically it's a scenario, all IT people will agree to it. And once the people are trained 6-8 months down, then somebody else will snatch him and then you are again back to school. Agree? IT people. So that's what it happens. So that's what it is. As a business entrepreneur, you should take first call in terms of what is the requirement. So this is another issue which we have seen greatly. I mean, most of the organizations face. This is one of the points why people, I mean, though in spite of studying heavily on the technology, they are not in a position to sustain beyond 3 years for now. What you need is a recurring cost for more. You need recurring cost for people to deploy and use those technologies. That's the difficulty. So these are the problems. As an entrepreneur, as a startup, what is saying right now, what happens typically, when you start your business? These are the issues you need to handle on day-to-day basis. Now, what do you prioritize? As an entrepreneur, what do you prioritize? Right? You always remain as, the customer comes first, so you say you want to focus on the customer. Then comes the product. Then the product delivery is also important. The quality of product delivery is also important. The logistics management is also important. And then when everything is done, whether it is properly built to the customer or not. The billing is also important. Then comes the data collection. The data is realized, not realized, that is also a problem. And then once the data is realized, what is your resources at the back end? Whether that is properly processed, the payroll is properly processed. If you list it down, there are more than 100 items. As an entrepreneur, you need to follow that on a daily basis. Right? As an individual entrepreneur, if you create a list of priority items, I'm sure some of you must be doing your list of priority items a daily. Are you doing it or not? Yeah, you can raise the hands. I mean, how many people are really doing your priority listing every day? Right? Size of a chart. So now tell me, let's start with you in terms of creating list of priority items. When you start your day, you create a list of priority to what you want to do in it. Right? By the end, when you're finishing your job and you're going back home, how is the listing what you've done? How many items you're actually in a position to complete?
About 10 items. Practically speaking, I tend to complete about 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yes.
And you add another 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Right? What about you? 50 to 75%. Sorry? 50 to 75%. 50 to 75% you add completely like a production. Right? And the bottom, this is standard statistics, not that surprising. But this is standard statistics, around 20 to 50% of the things will remain in the priority list, never get addressed. And typical those things like compliances, payment of tax. This is factual thing. It's not like this is a normal. It's not that something is a problem. But this is where most of the time we are facing, and every time we resources are problem. What sort of resources? 90% resources. When we say resources, are factors.
So I don't agree with this because this is like you're saying you should be educated. That's fine. You can be educated about all these things, but even if you're educated, even if you come in with a degree and you come in with a management degree and you know all this, you're going to make several mistakes along the way. If you think that if you have 50 lakhs or whatever it is, and you're going to just utilize all that because you know all this stuff, that is not correct. No matter how much you know, you're going to blow away 30 lakhs making mistakes, getting up, fixing it, making another mistake. So it is unrealistic to expect that just because an entrepreneur should do all this and then sort of thing, he continuously able to go on his path.
Super, super. So let me give you the perspective. Why I put this particular. I don't expect entrepreneur to know or do any of this. What I want entrepreneur to focus only on what is the core function. Right? What is the core? Product, service, quality, and then the resources. You focus on that. Rest of the thing, you partner with few of the people we have over here who are providing services. So you have them. In a simple sense, you have them. So I'm not saying you outsource your function, but you work out whichever way it is workable for you to take a decision. So that your priority, all the priority what you're taking as a listing down, all 10 priorities, you focus on top 5, focus on your top 4. The balance 5, you put it to somebody who can manage for you and who can report. That satisfy your requirement? Partially? That is what we are. So resource raising is another issue when we are saying most of the time I'm not growing because of the non-availability of resource. When we are saying resource, 90% of the time we are indicating resources of finance. Right? But these are the activities which, I'm sure, if the proper MIS is not available to you, you will not be able to take part. What you need is some information. Now, you can't sit on daily basis to create MIS in terms of किसका पैसा है, किसका नहीं है, किसको पेमेंट करना है, किसको product. You have in your back of your mind. You're noting it down somewhere, but that's not a competency in terms of relying on expanding this. So when you are at the startup, when you are a single individual, it makes sense to do it that way. But when you expand, your P is already done, your proof of concept is established. That point in time, if you try to do it, then it will be difficult for you to manage and go to the next.
So if I
Scalability becomes issue that way.
Okay, so if I summarize, you're saying don't focus only on the financial resources, focus on the other resources that also.
As an entrepreneur, you focus on everything. Some of the functions which you find it difficult, you take help of somebody who can help you out with it. That's what the practice.
Excuse me.
Now, sorry. Yeah.
Actually, we say finance.
Yes.
What is finance?
Okay.
Finance is the raw material for rest of the resources.
Right.
So we are trying to concentrate on the resources. Means finance, which is actually a raw material for what all finance is supposed to get us to.
Agree. I fully agree with you. But when you need finance,
So
that's a question mark.
So
When you need
what
finance.
actually the point is being discussed about is that we are missing the use of the finance. So that's why we are trying to concentrate that.
No, you as an entrepreneur, you have to focus on both. What is the need of finance, number one, and when you need to have that finance done.
Agree.
Right.
So that's what. So we are trying to just focus on the first part.
Correct.
So
That is what is
some
happening.
things get delayed.
That is what is happening. So when I'm saying issues which we need to address, so these are the couple of issues we need to address. So if you look at in terms of how to explore big ideas. So when we say the starting point of our business, once we are in this startup stage, we do everything on your own. But when you slightly grow and move into career down the line, so the proof of concept is already established, your recognition, the market and the product is already done. That's where your challenges change. So the way I look at, for every age, requirement is different. Every age, the challenge is different. Every age of the business, the need for having finance is different. So this is the thing which I was mentioning, answering to your question, sir, over there. When you need to have, you have to look at business plan every 6 months. Look in terms of what you are and what you can do in 6 months. When you actually cross 3 years of existence and you prove yourself, yes, this business is validated, product is accepted, then you can drive the way, there's a scalability of the product. You don't have to think about your existence, you don't have to think about the product and applicability of it. So if you look at the different sets of the activity, it is all item which moves into different facets. So as a startup, what you need to do is focus more on research. In terms of which are the clients I can address, who need this sort of product, who need this sort of services, and then you create the cycle. When you look at, the people, there are not many people, let me give you a sense, there are not many people who are ready to invest into startup investment, including guys. But on the other side, they are also having some risk. They are also having some capital constraint what they can invest. And ultimately they are remain as a custodian of the funds which will belong to somebody else. So they also need to submit back their performance and their profitability and their income and their salary of course, which comes from the investment of their. So if you think from their side, what is the need available from their side and what is the need you need for your business is what need to balance. So if you look at a typical banker, typical investor, what people look at what effect when you're at the conceptual stage, what sort of research you have done to understand where the product effectively is, what the product acceptability is, where the market segment, who needs this sort of support. Then you move into the actual ground level reality of whether you are conceptualize this. When you're saying, I mean, most of the things, I mean, we call about SR group. I'm not talking about villas and villas, and they are the multi-millionaire from generations. And so I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about Tatas who are multi-millionaire from generations. If you consider the, I mean, in the large upcoming group, whether you talk about Adani or you talk about Reliance or you talk about some new group which is emerged, like Jain Irrigation. So they all generated, they were entrepreneurs somewhere. They were not born rich. They gradually grow from this character. They might be sitting in some like someone born like this and then creating their own part of their own activity. Even in process, look at it. So all the entrepreneur is not an entrepreneur, own entrepreneur. They have developed themselves over time. So there is a possibility. Some of you might be, I mean, the multi-millionaire tomorrow. Nobody knows. In terms of how you actually capitalize and put it in the process, and get other people convinced to invest in it. When I said finance is the starting point, like a crux. It's like moving blood in your body. Very important. But that also needs to be managed. If the blood flows in a particular part of the body is also dangerous, and if it is not flowing in a particular part of the body is also dangerous. So both the things has to be managed. This is what I'm saying is creating a businessman to understand where you are, what you want to achieve, and then convince other people, keep them comfortable in terms of what is required and how you can do that. So now, let's look at the pyramid and go one step below this also, at the start of this. So what we mentioned in terms of you need to have your own understanding in terms of own research, own product acceptability, adaptability, the concept stage. You can take your product or who need this sort of service. And what sort of margin you can earn out of it, and how you can repay your debt, whatever loan you are taking from the bank for any of the business, which is very important. Even if you look at family and friends, they will be ready to pump in some money some point. But that is not a sustainable model where you can drive it for the longer duration. Because when you go into business, you need more and more funds. So you need to look at the funding requirement at the time when you actually, that's what should come out of your business plan. And in most cases, I always advise you raise the fund. When you are at the 5 crore most, 5 to 25 crore turnover, I always tell all the people, you raise the fund at a time when you don't need it. Don't look at the funds when you need it the most. The reason being, when you are in deep trouble and then you need funds, when you need funds without the need for you need funds. If you try your own and get when you need funds, and then at that point in time you approach your family or friends or the bank or the private equity guy or the VC guy, they will try to squeeze maximum out of it. That's what the process. So if you try to do it when you don't need it, but you are confident that maybe 6 months down the line you will use that sort of fund, that again is linked to your business plan. When you are having a business plan that you know what is going to happen 6 months down the line, and you start your process today, you get the sanction and everything done, that will be, it will be in a better position to negotiate with the bankers or people who are giving you international loan. There are ways and means in terms of you can get terms of sanction favored to you, or the rate of interest favored to you, or the processing fee rate, or some other type of matter. So that is what we need to look at. So when we are saying different level of organizational structure is what we need to look at. There you are, and then you will create it. So this is typically what it happens. If you look at this particular page, this is the conceptual area. When I say conceptual, it's just an ideation stage. Ideation stage in the sense where you are just getting the idea or a concept. You are working somewhere in some organization and say there's a part of this business, I got an idea and I should start working on that. But 90% of the ideas remain as an idea at this stage. doesn't comes into actual life because of fear or because of the entrepreneurship. Few of the organizations, few of the people, entrepreneurs start with it. Answer to your question. You said that the maximum number of entrepreneurs fail during first initiatives. They fail because they just look at the idea and the superlative idea because this is generated by them. You don't try to put it into practical sense in terms of whether this idea is at a value in real sense to the people and people are going to say. So product adaptability, acceptability, and then looking at what is the requirement of a particular product or a service in a particular case. And that's why the 90% of the entrepreneurs fail with this one. This is why it's called a carryover. The 90% of the idea which is generated get died out at the stage. So in this, normally if you look at the maximum number of funding which is done by people whose capital interest or other funds. So look at, look at from the external perspective. When we say external perspective, is like the people who is taking stake on it. This is a risk capital for them. Whoever maybe the right venture capitalists or angel funding, or maybe private equity investors, or maybe the bank, or maybe investors. So all look at their venture as a risk capital and then go finance. With this growth, this is the actual when you cross your 25, 30 crores, 50 crores of turnover, your product is established, your adaptability in the market is good, your recognition, you recognize as a player, serious player in this particular sector. During this stage, VC and startup will not take it as serious as you wanted to. So initial stage is always going to be weaker. So those point in time you have to be very careful in terms of your business plan, your assessment. What is the requirement? You should be very clear in terms of how you should drive this. Because what you have is only an idea and some sort of thought in terms of how you will drive. But if you don't put it as a business plan, in terms of how you can convert that idea into reality, people will not get too serious. But during this point in time, when you go into from startup, emerging growth, and then at the development stage, people will consider a very serious player. And then they will start looking at you as a very serious player in the market, and then last looking at the opportunity for investment into your company. So typically, if you look at pre-seed, this is like your own funds or family and friends is one normally. The three F's is what normally people are funding with. Family, friends, and fools. So these are the three F's normally invest into pre-seed. Family and friends do it with some sort of understanding, some sort of emotional connection, and fools without understanding business people. Because we are saying its margin is going to be 30%, 40%. So without analyzing the facts and reality, they start investing into something which they don't understand. If you look at the startups, startup typically investment is made by angels. For entrepreneurs like you, there are a lot of opportunities available. Like there are Mumbai angels in India. Mumbai angels in Mumbai, they are operating very effective. They are doing a lot of funding for the angel funding, which is typically ranging from 1 crore to 5 crore. But they also look at risk capital and risk capital. Accordingly, they look at the investment. Then we have early stage venture capital. Typically, we look at they either possible or the rate or the preferential rate or the equity. So it depends on your acceptability of your product in the market. In case of IT product, most of the venture capital they stake directly and then give all sort of funding requirements. But in case of manufacturing or service, so that sort of opportunity is very remotely available. Typically, not because they don't trust, but typically because of the nature of industry. In case of IT, scalability is huge. Like if you develop a small application which can run on a mobile phone, so that acceptability and reliability is multifold. In the shortest possible time, you can do it and multiple replication. There is a case of manufacturing or service, scalability is an issue. So depends on the requirement and depends on the product. They will take a decision to invest. Then when we move into emerging growth, so that during that portion, your risk of business is very high. If you look at this particular startup, this particular segment, the business risk is high, and you can't afford to pay EMIs. even if the bank is providing you moratorium, it's difficult for you to pay EMI because of the interest. So then you have to find out a way in which how to balance your cash flow on recurring fees. So if the cash flow is positive after paying EMI, then only you will be able to spend on your vehicle. So during this stage, what you need to ensure that your variable component to run your business, so that is recovered. That is your EMI portion for interest. That is your variable component for your payment of salaries, payment of your raw material, and all that. In that portion is get captured, so that your activity for the business can continue on. And typically this particular sector, when you cross beyond 20, 25, 30 crore turnover, where people sees you as a serious player, and then start taking serious interest in your business option. Collateral, again I am saying collateral is not the only option most of the people of the bank are looking at. If you look at different segments, whether it's an entrepreneur, they don't look at collateral at all. TM, they don't look at collateral. But when you go to banks or business entities, when there's this level, they don't look at as a business, as a collateral funding. They look at it as a risk cap. They expect some higher level. So again, it doesn't come over. Even if you look at your startup venture or people in between this who are interested in investment in an individual basis, again they are giving you preferential debt or preferential capital or some sort of fixed debt mechanism. But again, collateral doesn't pay. So when you liaise with the banks, so even if you look at from the bank side, on the debt funding side, so there are 3 levels of debt which is available. So one is if the requirement is less than 1 crore, there is a collateral free debt is available under CGTMS system. I'm not too sure how many of you know this, but CGTMS is a scheme which is implemented by Government of India and it is routed through SIDBI. And almost 7 public sector banks and 3 of the private sector is allowed to accept that as a bank. So typically what happens when you submit your proposal, business proposal to your bank, they back to back, they charge some premium, it's a risk insurance premium which they call, which is around 1% of your vote. They get it back to back reimbursed from or back to get protected under CGTMS scheme from SIDBI. So this is the function which is available, you can get loan up to 1 crore without any part. Right? In that case, you just need to have your business plan approved properly. Your business plan approval, the process remains same as if it is a normal loan. Yes.
Actually, was like very simple, and they had informed that incremental limits of the agency, city, manufacturing, factory, or something like that. We are working capital is not the they need to have it for you can be utilized for a factory or some land or something like that.
So even the service is even the service.
This was India attention. They don't provide for trading company or
Sorry?
provide for trading company.
That's what I'm saying, when you're creating your business plan, you have to walk it through in terms of what is the price of your business. And it's just an idea that you run a proof of concept. So it's not like they're looking at something that they can provide a service. There are few clients I know that they've given funding even to chocolate manufacturer or supplying chocolates to the shops and malls. So it's a funding even given to those. But this needs to be, as I say that if you get a 1 crore requirement, less than 1 crore requirement, what is the plan you have in terms of how to make that facilitable to the bank to take a call for that. So it's not like even there are certain manufacturing customers who have been rejected that they can't provide because of some different reasons. Yes, sir.
Then the applicant needs to be a corporate or can be a sole proprietor or partnership also under CGTMS.
Sorry?
Whether the concern who is applying for loans, he must be a corporate or whether it can be a sole proprietary or an.
No, I don't think so.
It can be anyone.
It can be any. It is, they don't look at the legal entity, they look at proprietary, they are looking at it very, very seriously. In a sense, they will, in most cases, they will reject the application. Because proprietary, we are saying proprietary without collateral, it's difficult to keep that. So legal entity, wherever there is a legal entity or partnership firm or a limited liability partnership or maybe limited entity, is what they will seriously do. Because they look at the seriousness of entrepreneur to drive their business.
And seriousness comes when you are actually, I mean, you said, I mean, you are working in some organization, and as an idea you generated, now you want to start this business. If business plan is approved, then I'll start my business. They will not give you money. It's a real case because I mean, if you are not serious about your business, why they should take a call? So this is that way. Yeah.
So I would agree with friends of mine. Recently, the same experience. They don't provide loans for trading. Say, if it's a manufacturing base or something, we have a registered LLP, all documents and licenses in place, running through 1.5 years. Now, during the initial period, you obviously don't set up in that profit segment. Right. Profit and loss accounts are not in that positive side. They are obviously because of the rate adjustment of the renting and other stuff. So, looking at the initial period, the trading, bankers outright reduce for. If you can guide us any scheme, particularly any kind of under-government CGTs.
There are a number of factors, like 3 factors in even the human mass is going to be stationed. So you can have one-on-one discussion. I mean, we have 4 hours are allocated. And 4 hours are allocated, 3 to 4 hours are allocated. So you get answer to all your questions. Still you are not satisfied with the answer. Give me a call, I'll give you the full explanation of how to do it.
What is the scheme called?
It is CGTMSC. It's a credit guarantee scheme for micro and small enterprises. CGTMSC. So that is almost now today we look at around 26,000 crores last year. This year around 30,000 crores already. There is a static loan available in Lanka. Even the city side is the same. Sorry. Micro small, if your investment is less than 5 lakhs, this is a micro. So 5 into 5 lakhs, 2 crores is a small, 2 crores is a that's the investment plan investment. That's the yeah. Yeah, up to me. So there is a criteria which is given for each line, like micro, small, and medium. If they are still considering, because this definition was created for micro, small, is 20-year-old. Then they are now revising it to upgrade it to the current level.
And it's different from products and services.
Yes.
I just want to ask, in terms of qualification apart from the trading or retail stores not being approved, in terms of revenue or scale of company, at what stage or at how much revenue do you think a small B scheme or another? But at what stage would those get away of the loan?
It's up to you.
At what stage the banks are willing to approve?
No, it's not like that you have to have funding done for particular sets of operation. Even the startups has got in common places. But that, as I said, I mean, your business plan should allow them to take a conscious call. You also place a risk, which is what they're going to take by virtue of giving you quality free loan. Is get product. And there's a substance in the business what you're sharing with them. So if it is that way, I mean, it's possible to do it. Even if you are 30-40 lakhs of business, and maybe you have a plan in terms of scaling it up, in terms of expansion, you require, and you're talking about 3-4 crores of business and you require 60-70 lakhs as a loan, you can always do that. So it's not like restriction on particular segment or particular size of operation achievement. But they will look at in terms of what is the risk appetite they can share with you. That's only.
If I'm running business for 3 to 6 months,
right.
I get to the 5 lakh kind of revenue right per month.
Yeah.
Would that be a stage that they can give money for working capital? If you are going into working capital, you don't have.
That's what I'm saying. If your plan is proper and if you're confident that you will be able to achieve it, then you're able to repay. As an individual, if you ask me, I'll say whether you have put your house at further. First question. Are you ready to put your house for your business? Is that correct?
I'll sell my house.
So that's the first question. I mean, if you're confident. So that gives me confidence that you are ready to put at stake everything. So that means you are very attached to the business plan what you are doing. And you're confident you will be able to do it. If you don't show your confidence, why should banks share the risk with you? It's as simple as that.
Yeah, under this scheme, CGTMSC, is
Yeah.
there any fixed percentage contribution required by the entrepreneur in the first phase?
No. Typically the way we look at the rate of interest goes is a PLR plus risk premium. So risk premium would be anything from 100 basis points to 600 basis points. It depends on the risk. I mean, what is the risk they are sharing with you. So it's that way. So there's no fixed rate of interest you can.
But is there any particular contribution, for example, 25% of that project cost has to be funded by the other departments for 20%, 30%?
The same question that I'm answering to here. It's possibility in terms of they can do this as a condition. Reason being that how serious you are about it.
This is within CGT and SC.
Yeah, that's correct. But they can pose you as a question. Are you really serious in business opportunity or business related? If you say you can, but inability to invest at this point in time, they can consider that also. So it's not like there's a rocket science that if X person has got Y rate with Y documentation, Z person is also going to get the same rate, same time and same action. Not necessarily. It could differ from person to person, from business to business. So that's what is that? If you look at SSI registration, that means you are serious player. Now, even if you get your process very right, rating. Again, rating is another activity where you can discount your rate of return by 100 basis points. Maximum it goes to 100 basis point reduction. So the price if it is properly rated. So there are 7 rating agencies in the country. There are 7 rating agencies in the country who can rate your business, and then based on that they can evaluate and give you rating. So that allows you to get the reduction of rate of interest up to 100 basis points. It's up to 100. There are a few private banks like ICICI Bank as an axis. HSBC is for that in international bank. Yash Bank, Standard Bank. So Yash and Standard Bank are almost basically back to ICICI private and ICICI and Yash Bank is for and all nationalized bank they have
Can you repeat those banks, please?
Sorry?
Can you repeat those banks?
All nationalized bank today we are covered under CGT and
private.
We have part of Dana Bank, we have come with a presentation. We are getting that time. So all about CGT, the definition, the premium, and what are the coverage, what are the benefits. Chargeable coverage.
Yeah, you will cover.
All very good.
Sorry, what are you saying?
I was saying we have come with a presentation of our part in our time slot. So all about CGTSME, all about MSC finance, all the queries will be solved.
All your doubts you can keep it for 1 more hour, and coming for the bank, you will do all the queries. Sorry? 1%. That is the rate of interest is for your payments and as per your sanction. 100%. Yeah, that's good. So if you look at, coming back to the activity where we are, if you look at the activity where we are, so there are various means that, you can get it. So if you look at, the different stages, again, I'm coming back to the different stage of activity where you are. So you can go for CGTMS scheme here, right up to here. Look for even private equity investor or maybe venture capital ready to take day funding without limited amount of volume. Or you can look at angel funding, which is again the collateral. Right? So the rate of interest is slightly higher. And then you can look at for the seed when you actually become a serious player in terms of business. Then you can go for external papers. Then normal you get 15, at least 3 to 4% higher than 10. It's like, but you don't have to, it's a equity participation. is a high risk. The venture will give you somewhere around 18 to 20%. That depends on the business model. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, so when we're saying debt funding, there are various ways in which you can look at in terms of funding opportunities. And these are the funds. This is not applicable as of now for you. But maybe, I mean, those entrepreneurs who already passed maybe 3 years of business, 6 years of business and already established, and going at 30 crores of business in every time. So then there is another way of sourcing funds from SME exchange. If the new can start. So under SME exchange, you can go up to 10 crores of capital with X amount of premium. So you can go up to 25-30 crores of sourcing of funds. So that is again comes as a debt-free collateral-free security. Venture capital per se, we offer you collateral-free debt or equity. Largely go with equity. But in certain cases, if you know it is final product, you get to put it as a debt funding. It is called as a mezzanine debt. What comes from the VC is called as a mezzanine debt, which is not a pure plain collateral-free funding, but it is in between collateral debt and equity. That's why it's called as a mezzanine debt, which comes with a fixed percentage. The fixed percentage is referred to slightly higher than debt, lower than the equity. So either you call it as a convertible loan, or you call it as a preferential debt, or you call it as a mezzanine debt. There are various revenue mezzanine, which comes in between the debt and equity. EPC is normally that debt is a typical debt what we are talking about taking it from the banks. So it goes from less than 1 crore under CGTMS system and more than 1 crore it goes into micro, small, and then it goes into higher steps of. But all this funding again, if you look at it from the bank side, it is covered in the private sector lending, PLC. So even banks from the, if you look at it from the regulatory side, and whatever they are disbursing, up to 40% of their disbursements should happen in the private sector. The BSF for them to comply with is an equal responsibility from the banks. So it's not that we are looking for fund and bank is not giving. Even equally they want the disbursement to happen because of the compliance to the regulatory. So if you look at 40% of that funding goes in the private sector, and out of that 50% is reserved for SME sector. So when you consider that the 6% of any bank's lending is required to be into SME sector. 6%, if you look at it in today's terms, it's huge. But if you look at it in a banking scenario, if you look at it as a scenario, still there are a lot of funds commitment which bank has to honor. It's not getting converted into reality. Because they are from, if you look at from their side, they are not getting that the amount of proposal. What helps them to take risk capital and they take a risk capital. And that's why it is not compliant. So as an interim, RBI has come up with an alternative solution which most MNC banks today use it. Is to park their fund into infrastructure fund, like or maybe housing finance company like Nabard. They are parking their funds. So at least capital is safe. But ultimately they have to disburse those funds into SME and micro and small business. So on one side there is an opportunity available, other side there is a deployment available. But managing between these two is required to understand both sides. In terms of when you create a business plan, you understand what is that risk you can look at and how you can mitigate the risk in your business to facilitate bankers to take a decision. So whether it's a collateral fee as we mentioned, or we talk about debt in some percentage of risk, or with high debt to save and security, allow the bankers to take the fund at the minimum level. So that goes in the PLR plus some 100 to 200 range. Depends on the risk of the bank. Any questions? You can start the floor open for question and answer. Before that, I mean, you let me give you some perspective. It's a typical, we have gone into details of 5 whys. So 5 whys study we look at. That gives you just 2 minutes more and then. So if you look at typically answering your question of working capital. So what is the type of funding for you? When you talk about debt or we talk about equity or funding for the business, you need fixed capital or working capital. And then you go into detail. Why people are finding it difficult to get funding? What do you rightly say? Rating. Rating is a third-party validation of your system, process, control. Are you organized? Are you, structured in your operation? How you delivering your product? Are you customer perceiving your service delivery or not? So there are a lot of combination goes in giving you rating. When they calculate, they look at a lot of parameters given like this. And then they analyze in terms of whether to give funding or not. So this is all about fixed capital. Same as you look at in terms of your working capital. Most of the time you find that the business plan will be prepared. In real life it's difficult to achieve. So if you feel that it's difficult to achieve, how bankers can rely on your business? It's simple as that. Yeah. So these are all avenues which obstruct access to the funding out there. This is some pre-check what you should do at your end before even approaching bank. So once you are clear that what is the risk you are talking about your business, how you can mitigate those risks, and then once you document everything into business plan, then I'm sure even banks or financial institution will look at it as an investment opportunity. So these are some points in terms of solution, in terms of what needs to be done to make it converted into reality. Yes, please. Sorry. Yeah, it's available. It's in straight now. If you want, you can take a copy.
One slide, information about inventory and data. The second point was focus on business and not overexposed to business and the process. What exactly do you mean? Overexposed to business and process.
That's what I said. I mean, if you prepare a business plan, then today you are at 30 lakhs. And 1 year down the line, the funding is available, you're going to achieve 30 crores. So you yourself know this is not possible. Right? If you are not confident, how bank will impose confidence? But if you are an IT company, you are developing some application which runs on mobile or which runs on, it's an app, which can run on any operating system. So those things people look at in the different. So it depends on the industry. They consider whether you are overexposed to your business plan what you're doing. Or does it link to what you're doing? Or does it make sense in terms of accepting the risk capital?
So you mentioned that if you are trying to look at who's looking, are these the same people who will evaluate a service company which is not related to IT, or do they understand the field enough to make a call that this product can be something? Because that's the variable you face with entrepreneurial angels and
That's correct. See, that's what if you look at, nowadays I'm slowly gradually. If you look at 5 years down the line, it's activity. So their understanding was also doing this. If you look at today's angel, if you look at today's PC, they are far more structured. In terms of they are looking only specific. They are not, going agnostic to any particular industry. But now they are focused on a specific industry. So if you find that they are like we can example of milestone. Milestone is a PC pure play looking only to it. Right? There are few players who are looking only for media and entertainment.
Right.
There are
So
few
I'm not talking about PCs, I'm talking about how banks.
even from banks. So banks are, if you look at, he has colleagues like Heman Parekh. He has spent 28 years. By virtue of first they assess your capability as an individual. Your back-end experience, knowledge comes as a second. But how confident you are about your product is first important. And then they have, variety of people. I'm sure my bank colleagues will share this information when they give the presentation in much detail. That they have segment even to focus on, even from banking side. Each of the risk, based on the risk capital, they have put a segment. That they are talking about say 40,000 crore disbursement to happen in a particular SME sector. So they have further bifurcated in terms of 40% will go where. So what is the exposure they want to put in for real estate? What is the exposure they want to put in for technology? What is the exposure they want to put in for IT, ITS? So it goes into that segment. And then according to the respective people who you gather. Yeah? If it is a new greenfield project, if it is a new greenfield project, they have a full-fledged project technical team to evaluate that project. And if it is there is no internal capability, they outsource them to expert to provide that expert report to technical evaluation report. So those are the things they always go hand in hand and you get the back and actually.
Actually, my question was more in line with what you just said. I'm in the same field.
Right.
But I personally will not, kind of wow too much in the market agency sales and business. But at least IT is not pretty much still looked at from a valuation perspective here. And or if it is, then probably we don't know. So that's one of the questions I have with from a bank perspective.
Yeah.
And into IT services or IT value in particular, which banks are actually looking at?
Today, if you look at nobody is funding on IT. That's a sad part of the banking side. But there is no, because there is no, if you look at Indian IT, including the banking system, so how to evaluate IT? Where is this pyramid mature? They understand the value of IT and then the recognition and then sourcing and all this. This is mature.
So where do entrepreneurs like us go? Get that growth.
I doesn't answer like that. But if you ask me this question, I said we still a couple of years away at this stage.
What I feel is, see, banks, businesses go to banks for loan. So those businesses are mostly from an established sector. Now IT, people come up with different business models. So probably people in the bank don't have an understanding of what is the repercussion of this particular business model. So that is why maybe they are worse. It's not the problem of immaturity of the existing IT industry. It is probably the industry by itself may have a problem, but maybe the banks also need to have a better understanding. And how do we go to the next level?
Definitely, I'm not denying that.
Because there are
but I'm sure when the bank
we may address all these
we can address this.
These all issues like knowing your business plan, about your technicals, about your financial validation of that, we have a solution to that.
So today if you look at each bank is equipped for an expertise in-house available for giving guidance on which sort of projects to be selected, which sort of funding is. So if you look at, there are 2-3 levels of screening which happens. One is the device like individual promoter or proprietary level information, and independent level information, the organization structure, then the process, then the control. There's a one sense of looking at the business. Other sense of looking at is the industry scenario first. So each bank is equipped with the industry experts sitting in-house to take a call. And in certain cases, like I mentioned about the greenfield projects, so they got tied up with expert agencies outside who is providing this sort of background services for technical evaluation. So when we are saying, typical question what he asked about IT valuation and all, that particular area which we are not really exposed to much. Otherwise, all IT related projects and ITES related activities and a lot of funding. I'm sure my colleagues will validate that and answer.
The very thing to be said is it is a business custodian. Very fair, they are custodian, they are very discussed. So all these options are available. Even although the entrepreneur are strong enough, they have the understanding, but they are very discussed. So the problem lies in that.
There are two more points in this.
It's not always.
There are two more points
yes,
in this.
Yes.
One is, when we as an entrepreneur, we are not able to produce what actually we have in front of the banker.
Yeah.
We are not able to represent in the proper words.
Yes.
So impression is not what actually, how impressive a plan is. I have to be equally impressive in presenting my details.
Yes.
Second part is that there is always an individual consideration from the banker's viewpoint. It may differ to a certain extent from one person to another person. So these things also have to be looked at. If one banker says no to me, doesn't mean it's the end of the road.
Even I'll put it another way around. Even the one bank branch is saying not possible.
Exactly.
There's a possible other bank branch maybe
two people in the same office.
Possible. It's like please come as capacity. Why you are entrepreneur, somebody join as an employee. So if you look at an individual level also, some people like you, we started ITIPS as a career and you have left around everything and then you become become an decision to become an entrepreneur. Same same level of colleague you might have worked with. They still want to happily working as an employee of an organization. So it differs.
So what is
individual person.
What is said that how confident I am about my idea.
Yeah.
Equally confident I have to be to present.
It, absolutely. And that's why you find that there are a lot many financial consultant colleagues who is here to maybe help you in terms of what best way you can present your financial.
In fact, I have seen failing ideas due to lack of presentation.
Correct.
Not because idea is not good.
Correct. So that is, I'll go back to my slide which I mentioned about the number of employees, 90% of the ideas fail in the first instance. First 6 months of the ideation is mainly because of that. Either lack of presentation or lack of ideation or converting into reality. There are various possibilities based on which the 90% of the new venture will fail.
So, is there a particular, like you mentioned that business plan is evaluated as a process? What is the process like? Is there a standard template which needs to be followed and a set of meetings which have to be done? And
it's not that. Okay. I can answer this question, but let my colleague answer from the bank side because each bank has their own unique process. Though it is just filling up information in a particular template format, not necessarily evaluated in the same way. Right? So when you are saying that it's a data filling in a particular sheet, but the way it is evaluated is changed from bank. So like bankers when they came for their part of the presentation, we just Okay, for ladies, there are ladies entrepreneurs, I'll put it that way. Lady entrepreneurs, there are a lot of schemes few schemes like, suppose if you want to participate in domestic or international conference. So up to 2 lakh rupees you get this. Up to 2 lakh. International conference. Suppose there is a country which is happening and you are allowed to demonstrate your product. Right? So you need to put as a part of your exhibitor, you need to spend some money. So up to 2 lakh rupees is what the fund is allowed. You have to be able to 10%, 15%, 25% for that particular scheme. Balance is taken to the bank. Right? That is a scheme that is run by MS. That is for promotion. And even for the routine sale which is happening globally, you can participate as a global entity. That's the scheme which is available. The second scheme which is available for women entrepreneurs deserves some basis reduction in your interest. That is also a scheme which is available. That differs from life to life. Couple are ready to be able to for that.
After this, we have one last slot wherein the banks will be discussing about their schemes. So I think you can get all
You can get the answer for that. But otherwise, there are a lot many schemes by different kinds of institutions, even MSA. So you can visit any of the website. You can get a lot of information. Sorry? Last? You can take a presentation copy if you want. So that's available with Shweta, you can download it. The same thing. You are all exposed that you yourself is not confident. You done a business of 30 lakhs this year and you are expected to grow 30 crores next year. But you are getting funding of 1 crore, 2 crores. So that is how you will manage that. There is no market availability, there is no market research, there is no back-end document to justify it.
My question is,
Yes.
okay, very many cases, okay, the bankers are ready to fund it. Let's put it the other way around. Here is my business, which is having completely growth oriented and do not require every case. And I have 3 panel bankers who are who are just working to take the loan or whatever it is. Now, for sake of convenience, I need to have the operating cost, to reduce it. That is, someone is saying our position on, I said, okay, I want 10.5. And all of them one guy comes up with the super idea. And I could then see in the media Cobra is posting such kind of things. No one will disclose that. But there is a reward something. So is that reward can be borrowed for a domestic? In turn, I have my transaction in the international trade as well. Suppose if I have 100% my transaction in the cross currency transaction, I'm not into the domestic.
Yes, you can.
I can.
There's the external commercial borrowing available.
Correct.
The LIBOR plus Q basis point.
Yeah.
Then also you can discuss with Uroshi when she shares her principal. But broadly, in your case, when you earning into foreign currency and you are making an external commercial borrowing, then you can compensate that into all of the dollars. So that protects your age risk also. Currency conversion. So that is also the problem. But this is a very, very deep subject. Understanding is required before you make it.
But this again with labor, banks and so-called multinationals differs in a very large industry.
Tell me, your business in logistics, you are charging 100 rupees for a transportation, and your colleague charging 90 rupees. Why is it different?
No, but even the banking ombudsman has some kind of norms that you are only up to certain.
It's a business. I mean, in your business in logistics, you are charging 100 rupees, and somebody else is charging 90 rupees. It's a difference. Right?
It's not a matter of convenience.
No, I'll go one step further.
You should know this access.
You see, one product is being with an MRP of 100 rupees. Is it being sold 100 rupees across?
I differ.
I say one product is being labeled as MRP of 100 rupees.
I can always go for MRP as discount.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So every business has a different policy. In fact, here the point is, one point I am trying to make. The point is that as a businessman, when I go to a consultant, I see it as an expense. That's why I try to minimize on that those expenses. Whereas if I look at that as an investment, I'll gain maximum.
You get that. Even for LIBOR related thing, international external commercial borrowing is possible to do it. We provide you business support. And international business supports you to take that loan.
It's possible. It's everywhere. But the variation is 3%, 4% variation.
Yeah, it's different. So one more question and then we can answer.
One question I had is, the banks didn't consider software as, like let's say you said, you might spend 3 crores on a SAP system, but you consider, you call that an asset, the bank will say that is valued at 0 because it's software. So what do you go with that?
Tell me one thing, you spend 3 crores on ERP, right? If you want to sell it back or if you want to give it back to sell, you say I don't want it, then what will happen?
That may be correct, but it is an asset, right? It's not that SAP ERP might enable my business to grow 5-fold more than setting up a manufacturing plant or something like that, right?
You look at from the bank. Suppose if something happens and your business is not running, the way your project, can banks send that SAP license and get recovery?
No, but I don't agree with you. The bank cannot be able to send the license back. But let's say I put up a factory, if the factory doesn't work, then all I've left is scrap metal, right? It's not really, you can't send a factory back, right? So the same principle applies there as well. So I don't see why there should be a difference between a factory and SAP. Both are enabling you to grow your business.
Factory, when you are saying something, it's a tangible thing. When you are selling scrap, you are in a position to realize some amount.
Yes.
When you are selling SAP license or you are selling back ERP, you don't want to return it. But again I'm saying, the view what normal bankers are taking, which Uroshi have support in terms of monetization and other colleagues can do that. But typically banks do IT solution what you're using, and how confident about the view about your business. This comes to the foremost point. As a part of business enterprise, if you see that you invest in ERP, which means that you are confident about your process, about your system, and the information is generated out of it. It is have some level of accuracy, some level of dignity, some level of respect, which bank will do. So that always goes as a part of consultation. So initial slide which I put it, if you look at it carefully, it is a soft reserve point with the people. Your strategy, your operation, your finance, and your technology is also equally important while taking a decision. So how to see serious you are on it. And the amount of investment you have done in your system is also
So here actually one point we are missing is, in fact, this is a deferred expense. This is not actually an investment, it's an expense.
It depends on how you treat it.
Because you see, as a banker looks at the distress value. And if he is not going to get anything out of it, he will not value it.
That's the point.
Also, now benefit and most of it is available as a service. You don't need to actually buy the
I mean, that banker will not advise. It's up to you. You have to take it. It's your business. You drive whichever way. To be confident, you can invest, take everything in your books. You want to put it in an OPEX model, you put it in an OPEX model. It's purely your call. That's how I would.
But instead of being a default expense, it can be a small suggestion, I mean, we're not bank, bank will not run their business based on how I think. So, we can find a way to make our life easier rather than the bankers what kind of their mind.
No, but externally people will look at in terms of how structured you are, in terms of how you are investing in your business.
The bank decides not to treat IP as tangible asset against they can loan.
We do consider intangible assets, financing of intangible.
You got the answer.
Definitely. Software.
But it differs.
Your brand
It differs from
that
brand.
is taken care of.
I mean, it's not dependent on how effectively you use software. But while taking a decision, continuity of the business and the police are directly enabled, they will always be good. Compared to others. The savings.
I have a different question about working capital, Do the banks look at it as, if it's not commodity working capital, if I'm setting a business that's selling products that I'm making, it may be outsourced manufacturing, but my product. Is that working capital considered to be, something that will funds add to this quality, working capital requirement, that quality thing? Let's say this theoretical, it's for or corn chips, So my investment, I can probably outsource manufacturing of that. My investment is probably working capital, and that goes to the channel or wherever it needs to go. Now, is that something that the working capital investment is that considered, something that the banks will fund? Let's say if I have 20% of my margin, 60% will come from the loan. Is that something that banks will fund?
Pose your question to the banks. Possible to do it, but each case is to look at. One last question to Lady and then.
I have a question on receivables. I've run a business for last 12 years.
Right.
And my attempts over the 10-11 years to go to banks have not yielded any major funding. Might be there's something wrong I'm doing. But now I've built a profitable business and I've been speaking to the banks for funding receivables, which is in terms of IT services. So when it's in the manufacturing, they fund receivables in a certain way based on your goods and other things. So is there any measures seen if we have worked with customers for 8-10 years and built a track record of sustainably doing business? Would banks support receivables in a big way?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Because that's a challenge.
So if it is not happening in your case,
then
two
something
things you need to do very quickly: change your consultant or change your bank.
We don't have consultants. We go direct to banks. Go to my stock.
Because most bank today does that. Receivable funding is a part of working capital. Most banks does.
In the IT services.
Yes, expenses are also
We talk.
Whereas if